Liverpool did not survive this match through superiority. They survived through Wolves' inability to punish hesitation when it mattered most. What looked like control was actually paralysis disguised as patience, and eventually, that distinction became fatal. This match exposed something Liverpool have been hiding for weeks behind results that flattered their underlying fragility. The illusion was simple, that possession without purpose equals dominance, that occupying space without threatening it constitutes control. Wolves arrived at Anfield and spent 97 minutes demonstrating that this emperor has no clothes, yet somehow left with nothing because they could not convert tactical superiority into the ruthlessness required to finish what they started. Liverpool's approach has become predictable to the point of self-parody. They circulate the ball in areas of minimal risk, probe without genuine intent, and wait for opponents to collapse under the weight of their own errors rather than forcing those errors through incisive action. Against most teams, this strategy works because most teams at Anfield are already half defeated by the occasion before the match begins. Wolves, however, came with clarity of purpose and tactical courage, pressing Liverpool's build-up with synchronization that repeatedly forced hurried decisions and turnovers in dangerous areas. What made this match particularly revealing was how Liverpool responded when their standard patterns were disrupted. There was no tactical adjustment, no change in tempo, no alternative method of progressing the ball into dangerous areas. Instead, they simply repeated the same loop with increasing frustration, hoping that persistence alone would eventually break down an opponent who had clearly identified and nullified their primary attacking mechanisms. Wolves defended with discipline but also with intelligence, recognizing that Liverpool's wide players were starved of service and that the central areas were congested by design rather than accident. The psychological dimension here cannot be ignored. Liverpool played like a team that expects opponents to eventually surrender, not like a team prepared to impose their will through sustained attacking quality. When Wolves refused to cooperate with that script, when they continued to press aggressively and transition quickly despite the venue and the reputation of their opponents, Liverpool had no answer. They could not raise their intensity because their system does not accommodate intensity. It accommodates possession, which is not the same thing. Wolves' failure to capitalize on this tactical dominance speaks to their own limitations, but it does not diminish the truth of what they exposed. They created opportunities through intelligent pressing and rapid transitions that exploited the space Liverpool's fullbacks left exposed when pushing high. They disrupted Liverpool's rhythm consistently, forcing long balls and speculative passes that bypassed the midfield entirely. They demonstrated that Liverpool's control is largely optical, dependent on opponents respecting their reputation rather than testing their actual quality. The penalty that decided this match was not a moment of individual brilliance or tactical genius. It was a lifeline extended to a team that had been drowning for most of the contest, unable to create danger through open play because their patterns had become so transparent that even a mid-table opponent could decode and neutralize them. Liverpool needed a chaotic moment, a flash of individual desperation in the penalty area, because their collective system had failed to produce anything resembling a clear scoring opportunity through intentional design. What makes this situation particularly concerning for Liverpool is that this is not an isolated incident. The same patterns have appeared repeatedly in recent weeks. Possession without penetration, control without creativity, results achieved through moments of fortune rather than sustained excellence. Other opponents will study what Wolves did here and recognize that the blueprint for frustrating Liverpool is neither complex nor resource-intensive. It simply requires discipline, courage, and the refusal to be intimidated by a reputation that increasingly feels disconnected from current reality.